Hi, Future Capinport here to say, I know I sound like an 11-year-old. I'm 22 years old. My voice is just like that. On to the actual video. Hello and welcome. This is my first ever video essay. Originally it was written down, but I find many people get information easier by listening to it as opposed to reading it. Also, in this format, I can include the specific clips I'm talking about instead of just quoting them. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This essay is about why I believe that Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch is a transgender woman, and not just a cis man who likes cross-dressing. Pleakley is a character from the Lilo and Stitch franchise. A one-eyed, three-legged alien, later revealed to be a member of a species called Plorgonarians. Pleakley is well known for their extravagant cross-dressing disguises. But what if I told you that these disguises aren't just cross-dressing, aren't just drag, but that Pleakley is a transgender woman? It is my belief that given solely what we're shown in canon, this makes complete sense. I did not believe Pleakley was a transgender woman at first, but after watching the movies and the show several times over, the evidence became too much to deny, and I finally let myself accept it. Was it authorial intent? Well, it was the early 2000s. However, whether intended to be transgender or not, Pleakley is a character whose complicated relationship with gender and the idea of being a woman is an inherent part of who they are. In jokes, yes, but also in serious moments and in day-to-day occurrences. Once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. But let's just get one thing out of the way first. Pleakley is an alien. Do they even have a gender? That's something people who are less familiar with the Lilo and Stitch franchise may be asking. Not about Pleakley's identified gender, but about assigned sex and the gender imposed upon them by their alien society. It's a sensible question to ask if you're unfamiliar with the topic. And it's one many people have asked before. After all, Pleakley doesn't particularly look like us humans would expect from a male or female, and walks around without needing to wear pants. Also, male is often seen as a default, so the he-him pronouns and being called Mr. might not register as, oh, this character is seen as a man. The television show answers this question for us by showing us other Plorgonarians. The episode Mr. Stenchy gives us a peek at Plorgonarian homeworld, where we see a couple of Plorgonarians who look like, quite possibly, the most gender stereotype aliens I have ever seen. Later, in the episodes Spooky and Fibber, as well as the movie Leroy and Stitch, we see Pleakley's family. Fibber also gives us a shot of another unrelated female Plorgonarian, who Pleakley's mother plans on marrying them off to. From this rather large selection of Plorgonarians, seriously, we see way more Plorgonarians than we do any other individual alien species in the entire franchise. We can see that there is a difference between male and female Plorgonarians. The Plorgonarians shown to be female have hair on their heads rather than just eyebrows, whereas the males are bald, or in Pleakley's brother's case, bald with a handful of singular sideburn hair sticking out. Plorgonarian gender roles are also strikingly similar to humans. Pleakley is expected to dress masculinely and get married to a woman. Here is one of the first interactions between Pleakley and their family when their family comes to Earth. For context, the little orange fellow you'll see in the following clip is a lie detector experiment. Every time he buzzes, someone is telling a lie.
Pleakley, are you wearing female Earth clothes?
No! Well, yes. I mean, it's strictly a disguise for an important military mission, and it highlights my washboard abs.
The next time we see Pleakley and their family together in the episode, Pleakley has switched into wearing their original Galactic Federation uniform, some of the very few masculine clothes they still own. They continue wearing masculine clothing for most of the episode, and only switch back to their preferred dresses after the episode's heartfelt moral about accepting people for who they are. As Pleakley's family prepares to leave the planet, this scene occurs.
Bye, son. Take care of yourself. Try wearing men's clothes more often.
Oh, don't worry. I will. Okay, bye!
In general, the episode Fibber is absolutely packed full of queer coding for Pleakley, but the gender stuff is what I'll be talking about here. Pleakley's mother repeatedly addresses Pleakley as son, and Pleakley's sister addresses them as brother. This is especially egregious at one point in the episode, where Pleakley's brother is sitting right there at the very same table.
I'm the CEO of a medium-sized galaxy. I have a bathroom in my office. You share a bunk bed with an evil scientist. Do the math, brother.
It's also revealed in this episode that Pleakley isn't Pleakley's first name, a fact that shocks Lilo and Nani. Pleakley is their last name. Their first name is Wendy, and while on Earth that may be considered a girl's name, it's a boy's name on Plorgonar.
He was always embarrassed by his name. I don't understand why. It means brave warrior in Plorgonar.
Oh, how I wanted that name.
Pleakley does refer to themselves by the name Wendy later in the series, but only when talking to themselves when no one is around. They do not want other people to call them by their very masculine first name, although they don't seem to have a problem using it for themselves. Now that the nuances, or lack thereof, of Plorgonarian gender are explained, let's move on to where it all began, the first movie. Lilo and Stitch 2002, the one everyone's seen even if they haven't seen the rest of the franchise. For most of the movie, Pleakley's disguise as a human woman has been played for comedy alongside Jumba's disguise as a human man. Look at these aliens, trying to disguise themselves as humans. Ridiculous! Then we get a scene of Jumba and Pleakley camping out and spying on Stitch. Or, well, Jumba is spying. Pleakley, behind him, sets out their sleeping bag. Then, nervously checking to make sure Jumba isn't watching, they sneak out one of their wigs and put it on, looking at themselves in a handheld mirror. Then Jumba turns around.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
In the end, it turns out Jumba just wanted to turn with the wig, and the two have a playful fight over it. It's a fun scene of them bonding, isn't it? But Pleakley's nervousness, enjoyment of the way they look as a woman, and fear of other people knowing they enjoy the way they look as a woman are all things that will come up again later, in Stitch the movie, in the TV series, and even in Leroy and Stitch. There's another point to be brought up here, which is that while Jumba also wants in a turn wearing the wig, having hair is a whole different thing for Jumba's species than it is for Pleakley's species. Jumba is bald because he's bald. Both male and female members of his species have hair, he just happens to be bald. Meanwhile, as we see, the visible difference between a female Plorgonarian and a male Plorgonarian is that a female Plorgonarian has hair on her head and a male Plorgonarian does not. With a wig on, Pleakley instantly goes from looking like a man to looking like a woman. The franchise has repeatedly shown that Pleakley likes looking like a woman not just because it's part of a disguise, and that they have insecurities over this since it generally isn't considered socially acceptable, at least not on Plorgonar. They'll insistently defend this by reminding everyone it's for their disguise.
I can't get these earrings to stay on. Has anyone seen the duct tape? What? I'm going to the store. It's my disguise, remember?
And when there's no way to explain it away as being for their disguise, they deny it's even theirs in the first place.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Pleakley. Hi, this is the New You Wonder Girdle Company calling regarding your order.
Oh, wrong number. Girdle. I wouldn't need a girdle for my disguise because it's an undergarment. Why would I use a girdle? I didn't order anything!
Hunka Hunka, one of the episodes of the TV series, shows Pleakley explicitly wanting people to look at their disguise and not just see a human woman, but a beautiful one. Just being seen as a regular human woman, or even an ugly one, would be enough for disguise. No one would look twice. But when Lilo's crush Keona Jameson asks Pleakley to the Valentine's Day dance, which, Keone, you're like 12, Pleakley is in their late 20s, and as far as you know they're married, Lilo, Stitch, and Jumba respond incredulously.
Oh, so Keone just got pecked by your Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love experiment.
His only thing could explain sensible teenage boy having crush on one-eyed noodle like Pleakley.
Oh, and I suppose he couldn't have just fallen for my brilliant Earth female disguise.
I don't think so.
Impossible.
Naga.
Don't listen to him, Wendy. Your camouflage is flawless. You glow with an inner beauty. A little low in the hips, sure, but still, what do they want?
And now, for the final parade of the world's most beautiful women!
For the rest of the episode, they dress up as some of the world's most beautiful women that they saw on a television show and try to prove they're beautiful women too.
Tell me I'm not beautiful! Hi, boys! Could one of you help me with some sunblock? That is a completely believable request from a beautiful Earth woman, right?
This subplot culminates when Pleakley receives a secret admirer letter and runs to the Valentine's Day dance, slamming open the door and turning on the lights and unleashing havoc as the experiment of the episode flies loose. But then...
So it was all an experiment's fault. I guess my attractive Earth woman's camouflage is a miserable failure after all.
Ms. Pleakley, you look really nice tonight.
Uh-oh. Keone must not have gotten wet.
Time to get over it, kiddo.
Wow, you're beautiful and quirky.
I am? I am, aren't I? Woohoo! My camouflage is beautiful after all!
The look of pure delight on Pleakley's face upon realizing someone actually finds them beautiful is one I haven't seen since Amnesia, 21 episodes ago. Speaking of the Jamesons, now it's time to move on to the most important, the strongest bit of evidence I have towards Pleakley being a transgender woman. Warning for transphobia and publicly being outed, because that's what happens. The episode is Nosy. The experiment of the episode is designed to find out people's secrets and then share them to everyone. Lilo and Stitch first meet him outside a movie theater, spoiling the movie to everyone around. Meanwhile, Nani is applying for a new job. Her new potential boss, Mr. Jameson, Keone's father, says she can have it if she holds a successful brunch for him and his son. So the brunch is held. It's a disaster. Pleakley doesn't quite understand Earth's customs. Jumba irradiates the ham, and Nosy is around spreading secrets. Near the end of the brunch, Nosy has a lot of secrets to spill at once.
But he's no dog. He's an alien. You know, from outer space.
Watermelon?
He was created by evil scientist Jumba here. Just like I was.
Let's all go inside for some coffee.
Will someone please tell me what's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on. I heard Nani talking to her boyfriend David on the phone, and she said Mr. Jameson's a snob with bad shoes.
Is that so?
And, oh yeah, Aunt Pleakley is not a woman.
The year is 2003. Transgender representation in media isn't really there, to put it lightly. And when it is, it's often offensive. This is a Disney show for children. Nosy has just outed Pleakley as not a woman to several humans. You'd expect this to be treated as a joke, right? Or at least for it to get brushed off like the rest of the secrets Nosy has spilled. There are almost 3 minutes left in the episode, and we do not see or hear Pleakley again. Not even when Gantu slams in, loudly stomping onto the roof before jumping down into the backyard. And at the end...
So, and Pleakley's not a girl, huh?
Nope.
Good thing I only had a crush on your aunt for that 1 week.
Well, it is 2003. Finally, in the movie that ends the series, Leroy and Stitch, Pleakley goes back into space and changes back into more masculine clothes. But when they're sad and alone, they take out a wig and put it on. They look at their reflection, and just briefly, for a moment, they smile a bit. In conclusion, even if Pleakley wasn't intentionally written to be a closeted trans woman using disguises as an excuse to go out and about as a girl, their gender presentation and desire to be seen as a woman is written in such a way that I find it hard to see them as anything else. Their genuine distress after being outed by Nosy is the nail in the coffin on the whole thing, but it isn't the only bit. Pleakley isn't happy as a man, which they feel pressured to be by their biological family and by society as a whole. Pleakley is happier as a woman, in dresses, being called she by even people who know them.
My aunt loves to dress up. She's working on their costumes right now.
I have never seen a more transgender character who wasn't explicitly on screen stated to be transgender. I hope with this essay I've enlightened you on why interpreting Pleakley as a transgender woman makes sense, and why it makes much more sense than interpreting them as a cis man who just likes cross-dressing. There are several other points throughout the movies and series that could be used to support the rating of Pleakley as a transgender woman, but I wanted the original essay and thus this video to be short, sweet, and easy to digest. Thank you for watching.